Like
hush. Nowhere. Because you didn't realize that there was a threat you didn't understand. What do we have here?
Oh, is this about the founding father who sounded himself with the whale bones? You're muted.
Sorry. Yes, you're right. I've called it. This story is about the sounding father. Who,
Jesus Christ.
He's a founding father of ours who liked to sound, and it got passed off as his official reason for death. He was a freak, and he loved getting loved banging chicks, and he got something stuck up his urethra, and so he took a whale bone and used it to sound himself, which means put that up your urethra to try and ostensibly break up the blockage that was causing problems. And he caused so many problems in his own dick and wherever he stuck that thing to that he killed himself.
Can you help me understand? Because I got a little lost at the start of this. There was something up his dick prior to the whalebone. And the whalebone is there as some sort of fishing operation?
See, what I think actually happened is he told people, I did this to try and get something out of my urethra. What really happened is one of our glorious sounding fathers decided he wanted to feel what it's like to get your urethra penetrated. And what better in this century than a whalebone? And so he used a whalebone to sneak up there. He was probably beaten off and he got out of control with it and damaged himself more than he thought. Pulled it out, bleeding all over the place, ended up dying, probably of septic shock.
Taylor, I can't tell you how much I hate this thing you're talking about right now and the words that you're saying.
You think it's gross that he stuck like a raw whalebone up his urethra? And
I would imagine.
Do you think he wiggled it around a little bit and moved it aggressively? And
I wonder, was the whalebone smooth or was the whalebone kind of prickly, like a broken chicken bone?
Well, I think it was ribbed for his pleasure.
That makes a lot of sense. That would explain all the blood and the death, right? If he had a smooth whalebone, then he'd probably be fine. Perhaps he graduated to some aggressively prickly whalebone, and that was the cause of our downfall.
I don't think it was a whalebone. I would bet money that it was a piece of baleen, which is those fine teeth that they have that are like a mesh that they use to catch the shrimps. Like that's what I would go with.
That's what you would go with.
Because I don't think whales have many small bones in their body, because they're fucking whales.
It's kind of like using the whale's fucking. I was gonna say thigh bone. That's how big of a retard I am. Like one of their big bones. I don't fucking know.
He died of a short but distressing illness.
Yeah. Distressing, being like,
it's bleeding.
My dick's ruined.
If I ever get a whalebone stuck in my cock, I'll die of fucking a gunshot wound to the head. That is.
I would stage it
awful.
To look like in my home that someone broke in and put a whalebone in my dick and then killed me. Because I wouldn't want my I'm just so happy with the sounding father pun that I can't get enough of that.
Can I read the last page?
Has to be the worst fetish of all time. Has to be the grossest one.
So Taylor. For years, Morris never settled down, preferring instead to spend his time romancing married women. But he shocked the world when he married his housekeeper at the age of 57, but that was only the beginning. At a Christmas party, he announced that he had just married Anne Gary Randolph, who was 22 years younger than the founding father.
Cool.
He had a reputation dating back to 1792 when she was accused of adultery and murder. At the time, she was 17 and reportedly slept with her brother-in-law. The union produced a baby who died shortly after birth. Aww. Nancy was put on trial for murder, although she insisted the baby had been stillborn. She was acquitted. Oh, I misread it. I thought he was 57 and she was 22, not 22 years younger. She was actually 35, which is good for 57, but not as good as 22.
Good for him. Well, I mean, he was clearly a sexual deviant and a freak. And
you're a little judgy.
I'm not saying it with any negative connotation. Other than the fact that,
I believe the word deviant comes along with lots of negative.
To me, freak has a little bit of a negative twist on it.
Yeah,
when you guys if you guys want to break down the words I use and say deviant and freak are negative, then fine. I guess we can get into that, hullabaloo. But no, this guy sucks. And sounding it that is one thing where how I've talked about something that it makes me want to gag more than anything is someone eating their own boogers. I'd rather watch someone be beheaded in an ISIS video than watch someone eat a big stringy long booger. That would gross me out so much. Sounding is in that similar vein.
Yeah.
Where just the fucking thought of sticking an object up my pee hole
It is
I
on
can't
the
imagine
bottom
worst
of
feeling.
the sexual. It's right at the bottom of the things that I might want to do, things of sexual like kinks and stuff, whatever you want to say. It is at the very bottom. I would much rather you shit on me, piss on me. I would much rather shit or piss on you. I'd much rather get fucked in the ass or like fisted even. Like I'd rather get fisted. I'd rather get fisted than be sounded. Yeah, absolutely.
I would need to know what we're sounding with.
Who's
We're
fist?
sounding with a sounding rod, like one of those. They come in a whole kit. They're like all different. Like,
can you describe
diameters.
a sounding rod? Like if it's
like a piece of glass.
Imagine it
no,
being
it's not
this-
a piece of glass. Are you insane?
I thought it was like a glass rod that people use sometimes.
No, it's a stainless steel. A glass rod. You're a smart guy, Taylor. You could.
Can't you see how this would go wrong?
One of the only gifs I've ever seen online of this, it was a long, thin glass, like hard, like maybe it was plexiglass or something like that, like my sex toys out of. I don't know, but he stuck that in his dick hole, and I've never gone back to see what it's all about.
A long, thin piece of glass seems like it has an inherent risk, Taylor.
Yeah,
that's why it must be like it must have been a piece of clear plastic, and I'm retarded.
I mean, people.
I prefer poking it. You stop leading into it. Defend yourself.
Sorry. There was no grounds to defend him. I was being retarded.
Big boys do what they want.